So let's talk about we'll talk about the cartoons because I have something very special for you. But
Mm-mm.
but first, let's talk about how you have no problem going up to names like Dr. Craig or Dr. Loke. And even though and your research, but I'm guessing that there's no formal education, right? Like you don't have a
No,
degree in
no.
theology or
My
anything,
degree is in. I have a degree in commerce and a degree in computer science.
right?
So neither of those things relate.
Right. But
I did go to Bible school for a year,
okay,
but it was one of those things. God was calling me to be a youth pastor, and I didn't need the theology degree, and that was So anyway, no, I don't. I have no credentials. In fact, weirdly, up until like 4 or 5 years ago, I thought the Earth was 6,000 years old. So what do I know?
so how do you go from that to being like, oh, okay, you're a professor of theology and history. I'm going to go and publicly not just disagree with what you say, but also put forth my own idea for you to evaluate, which I don't think anybody has meaningfully evaluated that idea, to be fair, that I've ever
Not yet.
seen.
No.
No. But how do you get that kind of courage to just stand up to these people?
So I hate to say it's because for the angry atheist phase, but it was the angry atheist phase, right? Where I don't. Not everyone experiences this, but I very much felt betrayed and lied to. I didn't feel angry at anyone personally, like even my Bible school professors or any of my family or my pastors, that they were lying to me out of malice, but they were lying to me. And when you get that kind of anger, then I was so wrong about this thing that I spent so many decades on. I don't want to be wrong about anything again, like nothing. I don't want to be wrong about no detail in my life. So one thing I did know was source methodology, and I learned that largely from watching earlier YouTubers. Like it's like, okay, if they put up a slide and this is the source, and this is how we should deal with Wikipedia or anything, right? Okay, you go there, you look at the claim, you actually go find that footnote, and then you go
Right.
see if it says, does it say what they say it said? What's the context? And then you go find what that person learned. And so source methodology let me be confident that I was exposing where they were wrong, even if it wasn't my idea. I could at least go read what they read and just start by presenting, okay, these don't line up. And a lot of the argumentation is just like, okay, Christians and atheists, everyone, we tend to be lazy in our research. We tend to carry forth the ideas that we hear that we think sound good. And so it was a very gradual process, the confidence level, in terms of being able to go toe to toe. And I think it was starting with young Earth creationists. I did go toe to toe with Kent Hovind and with Ken Ham. That is, I'll admit, slightly easier than some of these other more scholarly gentlemen, even though their titles are the same. So
Well, we
I don't know if that
appreciate
answers
you.
the question, but
No, it does, and we appreciate you fighting the good fight, and it gives us a little bit of courage because when you speak up to these big names, you have to imagine that there are people that watch your content, that watch this show and other shows that we never hear from,
right.
that we would never know they exist, but they are out there, and they are listening to what we say, and then they're going to church and they're listening to what the pastor says, and somewhere in there, seeing us have the courage to talk about it is giving them courage to start the questioning
And
process.
100%, I am
Yeah.
not smarter
Nope.
than those men, or they're all generally as Christians, so they're men. I'm sorry but okay, so I'm not smarter than them. I don't know more, but I'm more tenacious. Like that's really the advantage that I bring to the table, and that's really all you need to do is be willing to stick it out more than the other person. Beats intelligence and well-spokenness and well-funded ministry.
Well, we do have a call-in queue, and we're going to get to that in
Awesome.
just a second. But there are a couple of items of business that I wanted to take care of really quick. The first one being Paul. For doing this show, I wanted to extend a very personal thank you. And we talked about how you like to commemorate avatars on your channel, and this
Uh-oh.
point of pride for a lot of people. Like Dan was excited beyond excited when he was commemorated in avatar form, and I know a lot of people who were Beady Booty was very excited the very first time when she saw that. So I have a little something for you,
Uh-oh.
and I have I've made a likeness of you in puck form. So if crew, do we have that? Do we have that image? There we are. Paula,
Oh my goodness.
you are now an official puck.
I love it.
There you are, and you have you're
And you picked the right colors?
Absolutely, a lot of thought went into this. So there, I'll send you the files later. You can use it
I
wherever
love
you
it.
want.
Yay.
Shannon has one too. She's wearing a senator's beanie. But there you go.